welcome to the Sartorial Geek podcast. I am Jordan Ellis of Jordan Danae, and I'm here with Liz Crowder-Sirota.
What's up, guys?
Because it's our 75th full episode, which is crazy.
It's actually pretty nuts.
And it's even more than that, like total episodes, because we have the little minis now.
How many do we have? Over 100, right?
Almost. I think total we have 86 or 87, so we're close to 100
How long ago did we start doing this?
I think we started this around the same time that we started the magazine, because
I think it was a little bit later.
Why wouldn't we do every project at once? So yeah, I think around like early last year, so like a year and a half-ish.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah, we took a lot of mental health breaks last year. I took a lot of mental health breaks last year.
Even for mental health breaks, that's still a lot of episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and like it's wild to think about all of the different, like all the different things we've gotten to talk about, and all the different people we've gotten to talk to.
Yeah.
Which actually, that's a perfect lead into, if you're listening to this episode on time, we have another fashion challenge coming really soon, like I think next week, if you're listening to this.
Yeah, it is next week. It's October. Does it start on the 21st?
It starts on the Monday of whatever.
I'm going to say that's
it's the
21st.
Yeah. So we did a really, really big fashion challenge in the summer. And it was so fun. And then a lot of people found it like at the end, and they were sad that they missed it. So we were trying to figure out how to do more, but it felt insane to try to do a month-long challenge again.
Yeah,
quickly,
and we teased it at our fashion panel at New York Comic Con too. So
yeah, so the way that we decided would be fun to have like more fashion challenges, but not all go crazy, is I think our plan is to have a big one in the summer. Yep. So, get ready for that next year. And then every season we'll have a baby
one that's a week long.
Yeah. So like 7 photos instead of 31.
Although you don't, like the month-long one, you don't have to participate every day. You can just participate once. And still have fun. Just make sure to tag your photos. Sartorial Geek Fashion, or SG Fashion Fix, I think we're using.
Yep, that's the hashtag.
So that we can see them and probably feature you, because we like to do that.
Yeah, and if you want to just lurk, you can look at everyone's. I mean, you should join, because it's so like welcoming and wonderful, and everyone is so positive and kind.
And there's not a ton of pressure. It's like
there's like literally zero pressure
about it. I might win a prize. So
yeah, we have some sponsors. It's all up on sartorialgeek.com, so you can look at our prompts. We have a description of what we mean, and it's all going to be spooky Halloween time.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, so basically if you have black clothing, you could wear a version of that every day, probably, and get all of the, hit all of the points. I'm going to try to do it every day. I really, really tried in the summer, and I super failed.
Isn't your Halloween party that's at the same time?
Sure is, but
you can double up, I guess.
My Halloween costume is not spooky.
What is it?
But,
you can tell us. It's fine. What is it, Jordan? What is it?
Okay. Oh, man, I've never told anyone my Halloween costume early before.
Well, they're getting it here first.
So Joey and I sometimes do like costumes together and sometimes don't. So I really wanted to be Shazam, because I'm obsessed with that movie, and I found like a sweet Shazam costume. So I actually didn't know this until Alamo Drafthouse, that movie theater, has like they show like videos related to the movie before the movie. So I found out seeing it that Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel, and then there was like comics people will know more than I do, but basically there was like a thing, and so they switched the name to Shazam. So I'm being Shazam, and Joey's being Captain Marvel. We're being like gender bent Captain Marvel.
That's excellent.
So I'm really excited. But also I put on the costume and I was like, oh no, this is like full body, a bodysuit. I would like to work out more before I wear this. So I have like 10 days to get some exercise in.
I will tell you that 10 days isn't going to do anything.
I know.
Your body now is going to be your same body in 10 days.
I know. So I'm just going to be a squishy Shazam, which is fine.
That's totally fine. We support squishy bodies here.
Absolutely. So that's who I'm going to be. I'll post tons of photos, but I don't think that actually goes with our Saturday prompt. I think
but you're running it, so you can do what you want.
That's true. That is true.
I was going to tell you no.
Yeah, no one. Or do you have a Halloween costume planned already?
No, because I'll be at Becca's birthday party. So I could dress up, but I think everyone else is just going to be in their regular clothes, so I'll look real weird.
I mean, you could do a casual.
That is true. I have not thought that far. September and October have been so busy for me that I can barely think past like the day in front of me. I'm just like, let me just get through this day. And then I'm not like planning for the future. I'm just surviving right now.
Listen,
so,
that checks. Actually, that's kind of, I had this thought and then I forgot and then I just remembered again. If you are listening to the mini episodes, the one we just released is, it's a self-care tip about just saying no.
Yep.
And it's funny because Liz and I had a conversation last week and we decided that that's going to be my mantra for 2020. I'm going to have
yes, way too much.
Yeah. And like we recorded the episode. If you listen to it, you can hear I'm like distraught at the concept of saying no more. But I think I just have to.
Well, because if you're not saying no in advance, then you're saying no last minute, and then that's the worst. So,
I don't say no, and then everything is insane and terrible, which is actually what happens.
Yeah,
which is
things fall off the rails. Either you can't do everything, and you can't be everywhere at once. So
I say yes a lot. I need to get better at saying no, and Liz is like, I think as good as a human can be at saying no, which is
maybe almost too good. So I said I would say yes to like social things because I have pretty terrible social anxiety and I'll still go out and do stuff, but it's like a struggle. So I said yes to a lot of social activities through September and October. And it's like it's an aggressive amount where I don't have any weekend. So I work all day. I come home, I go to sleep, and then my weekends are just traveling. Which I typically would say no to. And I said, you know what, these are people I care about. These are important events for them. They won't be happening regularly. I will just say yes, power through, and then take all of November, December, January, like half a year off. So
we're having opposite where we'll let you know. We'll do a little recap about the year of yes and the year of no and see what happens.
It won't be a year of yes. It'll be like 5% more yeses.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to say no to everything either. I'm still going to live my life. Oh man. Everyone would be like, who are you?
I'm trying to be the best version of myself right now, guys.
So we have all kinds of challenges happening. We have self-care challenges. We have fashion challenges. So feel free to join us on any or all of those.
Yeah.
We love having friends do things with us.
Well, Jordan does. I don't. Just kidding. Just kidding. I do love having friends do stuff with me.
Yeah, the extrovert-introvert dynamic is strong.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so on to the actual episode, which if you listen to episode 50, we did like a Q&A to each other, and we thought it would be fun to do that every 25 episodes. So we're back. At episode 75. We posted on social media and asked if you guys had any questions for us. So we each have a question from the internet to ask each other. And then we have 2 other questions. And then we're just gonna, find out some things about each other.
Yeah, get ready. Buckle up.
Do you want to ask the first question, or do you want me to? Okay.
So my first question is, which upcoming Sartorial Geek podcast interview are you most looking forward to airing?
Oh my God. I am so freaking excited. I got to interview the wonderful Victoria Schwab, which was like more for me than for you guys, honestly. Yeah. So one of the main things that I wanted to do with the podcast is just have an excuse to like talk to people I think are cool and have it not be weird, because it's like for a podcast, even though it's basically just I want to talk to them. So I got to talk to her while she was in town for New York Comic Con. And she's just like, if you follow her on social media, you know how like motivating and inspiring and honest she is, which is so refreshing, because I feel like, she's like made it. And a lot of people, when they've made it, are sort of like, hi, I'm at the top now. Good luck down there. See you never.
Not authors, I find that most authors who have made it are still like, they're going to find out I'm faking it soon. They're all, even if they like,
actually true. Yeah,
they're just all a little bit like, this is fleeting. I can never write another book again. And then they keep doing it. But
which is so, I guess like you are a writer, so I think you get that. I am not. So I'm like, what are you talking about? But I think that's true. And I think that's why I actually really like working with authors. Like all of the Jordan Dene official collabs and licenses are with authors. So
that self-doubt is real, especially when you're writing and it's just you and your words and you're like, this is all garbage. And it's not, but it really does feel like that in the moment.
Yeah. And I think the episode will be really nice to listen to for people who are writers or starting to write. She spends a lot of time talking about like, how hard it is for everyone, but tips and tricks that she's learned, and like mental frameworks that she has to keep going. And so even as a non-writer, I was like very motivated leaving the interview. Yeah. I'm so excited for that. I think if we can make it work, which I think we can, we're hoping to have all of the interviews that come out during, what's the official National Novel? Yeah, what does that stand for?
I don't actually know how other people pronounce it. What is it? What's the what? What's the question?
What does it stand for? National
Novel Writing Month.
And that's November, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, we're thinking about having all the interviews that come out in November be with authors or people in the writing space. So the interview with her is gonna kick it off if all of our timing works out. So I'm super excited about that.
Me too, man.
Yeah, maybe we'll have an episode with you teasing your project.
No one's gonna give a shit because I'm not famous yet, but when I do get famous, then someone will dig this interview up. So sure, let's do it.
Yeah, we can have an episode called "How the Hell to Write Your First Novel."
I mean, I would talk about it.
A story with Liz Crowder.
A story with Liz Crowder.
I keep forgetting your actual whole last name. Sorry, Liz Crowder.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Well, I had a different question, but now I kind of just want to ask for you to tease the biggest side project that you're working on right now.
Oh God.
That's a better question than what I wrote down.
Jordan, I was not prepared. So my biggest side project right now is I am working on a fantasy novel.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's probably the most I've ever written. It's not 58,000 very edited words, but that is my current word count. and I have like a solid first draft of the first half of the book, and I do know how it's going to end. So now I'm working. I do a writing class on Thursdays for this manuscript in particular, and I'm editing about 20 pages at a time, and then like submitting it to be critiqued, and then I go back and like rework, and that's actually what I was working on right before we started recording this podcast. So my brain is a little fried. But
I think your word count for this project, it may equal my total word count of my whole life. That might be like the most I've ever written cumulatively.
It's a
over
lot.
30 years.
It's a lot of content. It's actually so big that you have to like break it up by like plot point and by scene. Because if you don't, there's just no way you're going to get through editing it all. You just lose your spot. You have to keep like a dictionary of words that you've made up so you don't get confused. God. You have to spell everything right every time that you spell it. It's massive. It is a massive project.
Oh, yeah, because it's like sci-fi-y, yeah?
Well, not sci-fi. It's more fantasy than it is sci-fi, because there's like magic involved. Maybe a little science fiction-y. I think when it started, it was sci-fi, and then as I was writing it, I was like, no, I have moved so far away from the initial premise that it's a different story entirely. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
I have so many more questions that I'm not going to put you on the spot for, but I want to know.
You can ask me like a few follow-up questions if you want.
Well, okay. I guess I want to know the most broad overview of like what, because obviously you're still
also
writing
my writing class asked me to do this, and this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm not great, except for our panel, which I was like weirdly fine with, but I'm not great with like speaking on the fly. I don't do totally. I am better. I'm a writer, so I'm better at like writing things down and then reading them. So I was like, okay, let me just practice my pitch a few times. So I recorded myself, like video recording at my job, like on my lunch break, trying to just like get through like your short elevator pitch. And I just couldn't do it. I don't know. It was just, everything was like too long and too big and too convoluted. And like the more I said, the more I realized I still had left to say to like explain everything, but let me try.
Did you have to do it already, or is this happening on Thursday?
Yeah, no, it happened the first week. So I like wrote some notes down and was like, all right, we're just going to wing it. Also, I practiced it enough times that I could like fake it if I got too nervous. This is the most nervous about writing I have ever been in my entire life. Like I just don't. Writing doesn't make me nervous. I like to do it. It's the only thing that makes me feel fulfilled. Like I could do this for a living and nothing else. But let me try.
I mean, it's nerve-wracking the first time you do anything that's like your whole self is in this project. It's
right. And I'm working so hard on it.
Yeah.
And then there's like there's this real fear that you're going to pour your soul into this thing that took you years, and it's just going to not be good. That's like,
well, I'm not worried about that, but I understand why you are, because I would be if I were you. But I'm not, because I'm just a fan of your writing.
That's very kind of you. Okay, so I was going to try and find what I wrote. I can't find it. So basically, there are two main characters, and then one kind of like sub-main character, and they live in this city in the woods that's like a haven for people who are magic, I guess. At least that's how it originated. And the borders were like kind of open at one point, but this is like a couple hundred years later. And so I guess a few outsiders can get in. It's kind of like, it's very similar to what's going on at our borders right now. And that was like an accident, but that's how it's happening. So like a few immigrants can get in, and they have to have their minds wiped in order to just like fully assimilate into, not their minds wiped, I guess their memories erased. Okay. So they can just assimilate into this new like society without bringing in like stuff from the outside world. Anyways, so it's just one girl who comes in from the outside, who is like kind of showing the reader the new world through her eyes. And then there's another girl who is also an immigrant, but she's been there for about 7 years now. She's one of the main characters, and then someone who was born there. And all of their stories kind of like intersect at weird points. There are magic amulets involved. It's like there's a lot. But basically it winds up being these 3 people and like seeing if they can save the city, because there's like civil unrest and people are mad at immigrants. It's just like a whole thing. So
I'm so excited. And then like you also got an artist to do like a not a mock-up, but I guess it's just an illustration of my 2 main characters, which I guess we can put in the show notes. Yeah, it's already on Instagram, so
so I described them to her, and then she drew them for me, and I just pin it up on my wall as I'm writing, so it makes it feel more real.
I love that so much.
Yeah. So that I'm gonna listen to this episode and be like, I left out so many plot points.
Well, I mean,
that's the best I can do.
You had like 2 minutes. Thanks for not giving every plot point of your over 200 page story.
God. Also, it's like not done, so stuff will change.
So
inevitably.
This is kind of fun. We have this now, and then we'll, when it comes out and is finished, we'll talk about it. I'm so excited.
And then I'll have like a better elevator pitch.
Yeah. So for all the agents listening, stay tuned for this project coming from Liz Crowder-Sorota.
Yeah. Also, no one's stealing my idea. Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Also that.
No one will. It's fine.
We have proof that it's Liz's idea first.
Oh yeah, that's true. This has been recorded. So do you want me to ask?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, this one you already know, actually. What new release are you looking forward to?
Oh, yeah. So I think it hasn't come out yet now. I think it will not have come out yet when this releases. I am so freaking excited for the new Taika Waititi movie, Jojo Rabbit. I think it's called Jojo Rabbit or Jojo. Yeah, something like that. I should know the name of the thing I'm the most excited about.
It's fine.
Jojo the Rabbit. Nope. I was right the first time. Jojo Rabbit. I'm so excited. I love him and everything he makes. And then I saw the first, teaser for this. And I was like, what the heck is this movie? And then I saw a longer trailer. And it looks like it is like a World War II satire where this little boy's imaginary friend is Hitler, and it's played by Taika, and I just cannot wait. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it looks insane. Also, I guess it's not Inglourious Bastards, but it sounds...
Yeah, I think it's going to be, which I loved watching that. I think it's going to be like a happier... question mark version of that, like a lighter, because Inglourious Bastards is heavy.
Yes and no. There's a ton of humor in it.
That's true.
It's like Scorsese heavy, which is still very stylized.
That's true, and it is. I mean, Brad Pitt his character is hilarious.
It is.
Oh man, I'm having a new moment of being in love with Brad Pitt.
Also, wasn't BJ Novak in that?
Sure was.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, there were tons of wild people in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for everything Taika does. I'm also excited for Mighty Thor, but that's like far in the future. I'm just a big Taika fangirl.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was that Scorsese or was it...
it was Tarantino.
Tarantino.
I got what you were saying, though.
Sorry. That's what I meant. It's Tarantino stylized. Yeah, and as I said it, I knew it was wrong, but we're just going to correct it for the listeners. I do know what I'm talking about. My brain is just very fried.
I mean, you're writing a zillion-page novel right now.
Yes.
That was like me. Every single thing I did before New York Comic Con this year, I was like, just forgive me in advance for my brain right now. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what words
Everything is wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, my question for you, which is also from the internet, is what's your favorite moment you've ever had at a convention?
So that is tied. So I don't go to too many conventions, but I think the only ones I've been to have been with you. And one was at New York Comic Con last year, and then another was at New York Comic Con this year. So last year I met David Tennant, which was so magical. Best thing to ever happen to me. And I got married that year, so my husband loves when I say that.
Listen, you are not the only lady.
It was just like, a dream come true for me. And then this year we did our fashion panel, and that was so fun and very well received. And I met so many people, which is not usually a thing that I love doing, but it was really nice. It was really nice.
Yeah, and we did a Q&A, which I'm always nervous about doing because you have no idea what that is going to be, and it was the best. The questions were so good.
It was the best. The questions were amazing, and I think we recorded it.
So we recorded it. We took video. We recorded audio. However, that particular stage was having some interesting technical difficulties. So I don't know if the audio is actually of a quality that we can, I don't know. We're going to see what kind of magic Dan can do.
Okay.
But yes, we tried to.
In
theory, we sure recorded it. I just don't know what it sounds like. But yeah, we'll post as much of it as we possibly can. And we're intending to do more. I just made a list of panel application deadlines for 2020. So hopefully you'll see that panel at a convention near you next year. Okay. Last round of questions.
So what is since it's October, what is your favorite scary movie or TV show or comic book of the moment?
So I didn't watch a lot of scary movies for like my whole life. Actually, I think so. You started watching scary movies as an adult before me, and you were like, no, they're not that bad now. And I believed you.
They are still that bad, except for there are really good ones. And they're not all what our college friends are trying to get us to watch.
Oh, man, because Liz and I are both, like, real big scaredy cats, so I was just sort of like, no, thank you. And then you made me brave enough to start watching them again. So this is so insane. I was recommended the movies Creep and Creep 2. They are completely batshit. They're so wild in the best way. It's oh my God, what is his name? It is the guy from The League that does a bunch of indie movies. And he also has, I think, a brother that does them.
Oh, he was in the Mindy Project, right?
Mark Duplass or Duplass.
Yep.
Duplass.
He played. He was in the Mindy Project too, as a midwife.
So, yeah. Okay, I remember that now.
He was one of the Delorier brothers.
He's wild. Like, the range of acting that he has is insane. And he is in some like crazy indie movies. And this is one of them. And I mean, they're called Creep. They are so creepy. Like,
I have seen this.
Did you love it?
Yes. I saw it with Andrew last year.
It is so up your alley. Like, I watched it and I was like, God, I wish I was watching this with Liz right now.
Yes, I have. I just saw a still from it. Yes.
Like, cringy. Like, you're just sitting there. Like, my jaw was open. I was just like, what is this movie?
Also, he's the same person, just creepier. So, like, he acts like that person. He makes the same faces. He smiles the same. He stands too close. Like, he doesn't have creepy stuff. It's just usually in a comedy. And then when you take him out of something and make him play the same character, it's
so eerie because you're just like, something's wrong. That's the feeling for the whole movie.
Because he acts really nice.
Yeah.
He acts like he's nice.
I would say, I feel like, I don't know how many people listening have seen it, but if you're into like weirdo, creepy movies. 100% recommend. I loved both of them. And the second one is just as good as the first one.
I haven't seen the second one, actually. I didn't know there was a second one.
I think it came out like several years later. I think you would love it just as much as the first one.
Well,
it's
maybe
wonderful.
I'll add it to my list.
Yeah. So that's my Halloween recommendation. I really liked Castle Rock.
Yeah.
And so I liked watching Castle Rock and Haunting on Hill House. They're like completely different types of scary. Haunting on Hill House, I think, is one of the most terrifying shows I've ever seen.
It's so
period.
Scary and in all the best ways.
Yeah. So that scary. Was like ultimate scary. And then Castle Rock was like, I enjoyed it so much.
I think the problem is that they came out so close to each other that you can't help but compare them, and they're just not the same show.
Totally. Yeah. I watched them like at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Interchangeably. And yeah, it is weird, but I recommend both.
Yeah.
One is significantly more terrifying, I think. So if you are a giant scaredy cat and you are too scared to watch very scary things, I would go for Castle Rock first.
Castle Rock is still pretty terrifying. That's the thing. It is it's still pretty. It's like Stephen King scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's not the scariest Stephen King thing ever. Like The Shining was proper scary and Carrie was scary. Like, but it's still, I mean, there's a clown in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I loved it. I think there's another season coming out.
There should be, yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I think there's going to be a second Hill House, but I don't know if it'll be called something different.
I think they're doing it like American Horror Story does it, where each season is its own self-contained thing.
Yeah,
I think don't quote me on that, because again, my brain is just not great today. It's a dumb brain. But I think that's what I read somewhere.
Yeah. That also sounds right to me. So either we read the same wrong thing or we're
I told you about it and I was wrong.
Yeah, that's true. So, take that with a grain of salt, everyone.
Please.
Okay. Last question for Elizabeth. If you could be a fictional character, which one would you be? Or who would you be?
Oh, no. Jordan,
I will say there are probably 75 answers to this, so you don't have to stress about picking.
You're giving me all of the hardest questions to answer today. Let me see. I won't pick a specific character. I will pick a mindset. Okay. I wish that I could be more badass in real life.
Oh.
So when I see characters, especially female characters that just aren't scared of much and kick a lot of ass, not necessarily Jessica Jones, because she's a little too alcoholic. But I would love to be someone who is not scared to jump out of an airplane,
like an Arya Stark-esque.
Yes, yeah, someone. I'm pretty good in a crisis, but not good at 90. So crises don't happen that often. So then the rest of the time I'm just operating at I'm vibrating at a very high level. And I just want to be chill. So that's any fictional character that doesn't have crippling anxiety. That's
fair.
That person is who I would like to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great last answer.
That's what happens when you ask me questions on the fly.
Yeah, no, I'm into it. That's perfect. Well, thanks for doing this Q&A, Liz.
Yeah, man.
I think we still are sticking with our plan to do this every 25 episodes. So if you have questions for us, let us know. You can just ask us via email or write on our Patreon or DM us.
Yeah, DM us.
Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, you actually can. I said it like it was a joke, but you really can.
Yeah, please. And I think that's it. Thanks so much for listening.
Yeah,
for 75 episodes.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for what's coming for the rest of the year. We're excited about everything happening at Sartorial Geek. And thanks for being along for the ride.
Yeah, I know that Jordan is speaking in a very low energy voice right now. But imagine if you will. That she's so excited.
Yeah. I think I got low energy because it's overwhelming the amount of things that we like are doing, have been able to do, that people are a part of. Like, I was just thinking, like, the magazine, the podcast, the website, the fashion challenges, the panels, like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But we're having a great time.
The only way we can do it is because you all let us do it and enjoy it and show up. And it's very humbling and wonderful.
It is, both of those things. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Have a really good week.
Yep.
We'll be back with another self-care tip mini episode. And
until then, stay nerdy.
Bye. Bye.